Hello, こんばんは。明けましておめでとうございます。Hi guys, this is Jerell. All right, this is 7:30 and first Japanese lesson for the year from Oxford 1969. And I welcome everybody who has been tuning in live right now. Oh, kind of exciting. First day, first time, first year, first broadcast. Anyway, the last time we met was the last Sunday, and being the new year, so everything probably needs a little bit of a change. So my session right now is being moved to on a Friday, and it's going to be 7:30. And for all those who have now come in and joined this particular session, please do subscribe, share, and like. I give you some time, yeah? And then there again, just like how the Japanese, when they first meet their friends and customers in the New Year, they will always say this, Akemashite omedetou gozaimasu. Akemashite omedetou gozaimasu. So welcome to the New Year. And today I'm going to talk about sumo. Everybody knows that sumo is a traditional sport in Japan. And I thought in the beginning of 2021 is always a good topic to talk about because there's still so many mystery, misunderstanding or lack of understanding of this particular sport. Yeah. Okay. If you guys have done the necessary sharing, and if you have comments, you can always drop by into the comment box and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. Okay, so the same thing that will be happening this particular 45 minutes to an hour, I will share with you some of the simple vocabulary that has to do with sumo. I'm going to share with you probably a video about sumo, and then I'm going to share with you some interesting facts about sumo. Okay, anybody here wants to raising question yet about sumo for my live audience?
What's the average weight?
Average weight. Everybody. Anyway, instead of the average weight, let me answer one of the live audience here. The heaviest ever sumo to come into the screen or into the sport is by a Hawaiian. Okay, his name is Akebono. He weighed close to 269 kilograms, almost 300. Yeah, almost 300. But there are also sumo that is quite small in comparison to Akebono, right? Some of them are maybe 90, but on the average, 150, 160 is very common. 150, 160 is very common. Okay, so as I go along now, I'm going to share with you some of the vocabulary of sumo, and then probably from then I can also add some facts along the way. And if you do have questions, especially my live audience, feel free. We want to have this a very interactive section. Okay. All right. So the very first word that you see on my now is man in ore. Man in ore. It means a full house. Like today here, we also have a full house of live audience. Thank you very much. Yeah. So man in ore, and you can see from my slide. Okay, this is the exact arena for a sumo competition or sumo bout or the sumo tournament. And if you notice, the manin ole is in a banner, is being rolled down, right? So practically almost every sumo tournament, every tournament is manin ole. The tickets are being sold 2 months in advance. Yeah, 2 months in advance, and usually it's still being sold out. All right, it's being sold out. Okay, and therefore they will always roll down a banner and thank the spectators for giving support to these very traditional sports. This particular sport of sumo lasts at least 3 centuries, 300 years already, at least. Okay, and if you notice, there's, below the main ole, there's like a roof. Okay, so can you see this rooftop? It look like a jinja. Jinja is a shrine or a temple. Okay, why is that so? Because sumo is a traditional sport and it's being kept that way because in the past it's meant to be for the warriors. They call it rikishi. Okay, to fight in the sense that in the spirit of the gods, because the Japanese always believe there are a lot of spirits everywhere. All right, in spirits, as in the good spirits, the spirits of the forest, spirits of the mountains, spirits of the sun, 4 seasons, etc., etc. So this is the Shinto practice. If you guys do know, Japanese do practice this religion called Shinto. Shinto, loosely translated, is called the way of the god. The way of the god. And therefore, up to today, when you go into the sumo bout or the sumo tournament and you see how the sumo rikishi come up and before they do the actual fight, there is a lot of ritual. And all this ritual has to do with Shinto. Okay? And most of it is about purification of the soul, the purification of the heart, yeah, and then also to show your warrior spirit that you fight fair. Okay? All right, next slide. This is called the banzuke. Banzuke. So what is a banzuke? Okay, I mean, if you look at the Chinese character, it doesn't even make a lot of sense. But okay, banzuke actually is like your television program, right? Still in your in our magazine, in our newspaper, every day you still see your programming from the different channels, right? What time is what program? So the same for sumo tournament. Before every tournament, there's always a banzuke. Okay, banzuke, yeah. And then the banzuke, you can see. Can you see there's, either one? Yeah, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 5 columns or 5 rows, right? And then you can see the bottom row is very small in terms of character. You almost cannot see it. Yeah, and then of course the top, you can see that it's very bold and you can see it quite clearly. And especially on my side is the right-hand side, you can see Yokozuna, the word Yokozuna. Right, so basically this banzuke are all the rikishi. Rikishi are the wrestlers, the sumo wrestlers that is going to participate in the tournament. All right, and it's divided into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 divisions. All right, so most people will just look at the top division because there is where the top sumo wrestlers are. Yeah, and in the top division is always kept at 42 sumo wrestlers, only 42. All right, and they have all rankings. And of course, the highest ranking is always the Yokozuna. Yokozuna. And in the hundreds of years of the sumo wrestling history, up to today, there's only 82 Yokozuna. If my memory serves me right, only 82 after so many years. So it's very, very difficult. You need to be a really good sumo wrestler to attain the rank of a Yokozuna. And the most interesting thing about the banzuke is that this is not printed. It is being handwritten. It's like calligraphy. So the master that write the banzuke actually have been writing this for a long, long time. And then you can see how straight it is. When the Yokozuna is meant to have a certain size, it's given the certain size because they have attained the level of Yokozuna. And then when you are foot or when you're still climbing up the ranks of the sumo, you can see at the bottom is very small. So what I want to share with you is that other than the traditional sport of sumo, the person that is writing the banzuke, he is also a professional, right? You can never make mistake, because one mistake is done, you have to redo all over again. Yeah? So these are handwritten. All right, it's like calligraphy, our Chinese calligraphy. Okay? All right, I hope you are interested now. Yeah? So for those who have joined me today, again, may I wish you omedetou akemashite omedetou gozaimasu, means Happy New Year in Japanese. And then if you have the chance, please also like, share this particular program out to your friends. Yeah? Okay, so we know about banzuke. We know that sumo is a very traditional sport. And then there are also several other vocabulary that I like to share with you. As you can see oyakata. Okay, oyakata. Sounds there's here my audience, there's somebody who is really very thirsty. They think of ayataka. But if that makes you, if that you can remember, that's fine. Okay, if you can remember ayakata and then follow with oyakata, that's fine. Okay, oyakata is actually the owner of a sumo staple house. Okay, so just like I take the example of one of the favorite sports in Singapore, like football. There are many clubs, right? In Singapore, we also have many. Of course, we talk about BPL. So in sumo, they are called stable house. It's also like a club. And this stable house is managed and owned by the oyakata. But not everybody can become an oyakata. Only sumo wrestlers who has retired then can be an oyakata. Or high-ranking officials from the Japan Sumo Association, then you can be oyakata. But there again, for those who hold high position posts in the Japan Sumo Association, usually they were sumo wrestlers before, and they were actually high-ranking sumo wrestlers. Okay, and then the next word I want to share with you is Tokoyama. Yeah, Tokoyama. And the Chinese character again make no sense. So you want to guess what a Tokoyama is? Okay. Bed? Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Okay. Not exactly, but on the left-hand corner top, for my side, the person that has biting on something, probably a comb, he is the Tokoyama. The hairdresser for sumo wrestlers are called Tokoyama. Yeah, because there again, you always have to remember, sumo is a traditional sport that has to do a lot with their Shinto, right? And then, religions, the way of the god. And because of that, even the sumo wrestlers, their hairstyle, you have to do it a certain way. And in fact, every bout that they go out, they must have, it's like you must be perfect. It has to have a certain mountain. Okay? All right? Yeah, and then the next vocabulary I'd like to share with you is the sumo beya. So sumo beya is the stable house. Yeah, it's a house. So the sumo beya is owned by the oyakata. And then that is where he will so-called recruit potential wrestlers from all across the country. And then train them and discipline them and try to bring them up from the lowest rank all the way up to Yokozuna. Yokozuna. Yeah, Yokozuna. Okay? All right, so better understanding already, so far. The next mystery I want to share with you guys is the Kenshobata. Kenshobata. Yeah. Sounds like a bata shoe, huh? Okay. All right. So what is the Kenshobata? In English, it's a sponsor flag. So you see my slides below. You can see there are people who are going up to the ring. And you can see all these flags, and the flags are of various design. And usually these Kensho Bata are sponsored by companies. All right. And this flag actually is worth on average 1,500 US dollars. Okay. So why would this happen? Okay. This happen especially when there is a very important match. Let's say between two Yokozuna, or especially when the match is between two Yokozuna and is waiting for this particular match to decide who is going to be the champion for the tournament. Sometimes you see like 50 people walking around. So there's 50 flags. So you time about $1,500, that is the amount of money. Okay, as in cash, is in piling up like that in envelope. Okay, so the more Kensho Bata on a particular route, the more the prize money. Yeah, okay, so they walk around and then they go down, and then after the bout is won by a certain sumo wrestlers, the Kenji, which is the referee, will bring that bout like a parcel of cash. Okay, you cannot see it. It's put in an envelope, and then the Yokozuna will just pick it up, and then he just thank, and then he walk off. Yeah. Okay. All right. Bobo. Okay, so interesting, right? So now you know, if you happen to have a chance to get to watch a sumo match on TV, maybe just a glimpse, and you see people walking around with flags, what does that mean? So now you know, these are the prize money. Okay, and these flags are called Kensho Bata. Okay. And then the next thing that is also very important to a sumo wrestlers is what they wear in front of them. You can call it an apron. All right, but actually in Japanese it's called mawashi. Mawashi. Okay, so a mawashi is very important to the sumo wrestlers, especially only when they are able to reach the highest ranking, the highest group. Remember, I was sharing with you the Bansuke. There is a few divisions, right? Only the top division of 42 sumo wrestlers are allowed to have the mawashi. Okay? All these so-called yet to be, okay, top ranked wrestlers, they do not have the mawashi. What they have is just probably what you have seen before is like, like G-string like that, yeah. Like two towel trying to wrap. yeah, but it's a very thick G-string, okay? It's a capital G. I mean, basically, it's just to cover the private parts, and then you must understand, they dress like that is also because of, again, when you have to always remember that sumo is about praising the god, they give thanks to the god. So they have to do a lot of old ritual. And most of the old ritual that they have to spread their legs and stomp on the food, on the floor. So that's why wearing the mawashi, especially for those lower ranking, is just like two pieces of cloth for easy, Yeah, actually they are big and fat, yeah, but then they are very flexible. Yeah, very agile. Every morning when they go to a staple house, as you can see from this particular slide, the bottom left, where they are doing exercising, you can see all spread their leg. I don't think most of us can do this. Yeah. They can spread. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So as you can see, the mawashi in the middle is very traditional, in the sense that, again, has to do with the gods, they can put in some of the gods that they believe in. It's a mountain god or the river god. And then, but lately it has also become a little bit trendy. Like the gentleman in the green mawashi, there's a little bear over there. Okay, this bear right now is one of the most famous bear from Japan. Okay, it represents the prefecture of Kumamoto. And this little bear has a name. It's called Kumamon. 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 Everybody say Kumamon, but do you know what Kumamon means? Okay, Kuma is bear, right? Mon is monster, short form. So bear, monster, bear, monster, Kumamon. All right. And then, of course, let me twist a little bit. Can you see this? This is a Yokozuna. His mawashi is a little bit different. Yeah, can you see there's something, yeah? Yes, that look like a thunder. Okay, only Yokozuna has that. Only Yokozuna has that. Yeah, Yokozuna. Okay, if allow me to say in Chinese, just that you guys can understand, Yokozuna, when you read the Chinese character, is 横纲. 横纲. Yeah. Okay, Yokozuna. Okay, a referee is called a gyoji. Gyoji, not gyoza. Gyoji. All right. So again, as you can see, the gyoji is a referee that referee the bout. Okay. He will be the so-called your what you call that? The final decision maker lah, basically. All right. And then you can see his costume is also very traditional. Okay. Again, this represents like he is the priest of the jinja. Remember, on top there is the roof like a jinja, so he will be representing like the priest. And then the two sumo wrestlers will be like the gods that is fighting. So everything is very legendary. It's very like you are in the God's world. Yeah, in the God's world. So gyoji. Okay. Now, this slide, what I'm going to try to show you is, if you watch on a TV, you usually will see a lot of this before every bout. You can see names. You can see numbers, right? So, for example, you can see there is 5-3. What does that mean? It means that the particular... Yeah. So that means they have met 8 times, okay? And Hikiyama, okay? He has won 5 times against the other opponent. So they will show you the history that the sumo wrestlers have met between each other. Okay, just for information, for these top ranked wrestlers, there are only 6 tournaments in a year across all seasons, across the 4 seasons, 6 major tournaments, and it's going to be held from Tokyo, Osaka, Tokyo, Nagoya, and then the last one will be in Fukuoka. Okay, and there's a reason for it. One of the reasons is because they wanted to have it across the whole of Japan. They also want to have a sumo tournament for each season. And then also the last one is in Fukuoka, which is in Kyushu, is because it's in the southern island, right? And it's the last tournament for the year, all right? Why is it the last? Because southern Japan do not usually snow and it's not that cold. So that's why Kyushu is always the last tournament. Yeah. So there's 6 major ones. 6 major ones. Okay. Now, as you can see, this is a good one to show you actually. All right. This is Tojino Shin against Tamagoaga. They are going to fight each other. As you can see, Tojino Shin has 19 wins, while the other opponent only have 9 wins. So they have actually met 28 times. And then you can see there's numbers. These are all the tournament. So there's the Kyushu tournament, which is in Kyushu. And then the Hatsu is the very first tournament of the year. That's going to be held in Tokyo. And then there's Haru. There's Natsu. Haru is spring. Natsu is summer. But this one is not the typical Japanese sumo tournament. This is because of the COVID virus. Okay, that's why you see there's a July. 7月 July. This is not the what I call that, the original. The original is supposed to be like this. Hatsu is the first one, right? Then Haru is spring, okay? And then Natsu is summer. Then Na means Nagoya Basho. So these tournaments in Japanese is called Basho. So remember, there are 6 major tournaments. And the first one, like right now, is already happening in Tokyo. It's called the Hatsu Basho. Just like my last lesson for 2020, I share about the Japanese New Year. And then after the New Year, everything is about Hatsu. You know, Hatsu Hinode, Hatsu Uri, right? Everything first time. So the first Basho is called Hatsu Basho. All right, so you follow by Hatsu Basho, Haru Basho, Natsu Basho, then Nagoya. Go to the middle. Okay, Nagoya. And then back to Aki. Aki means autumn, right? And then finally, the last one is, you can see the Chinese character 9. It represents Kyushu. And that is the final tournament for the year. All right? Oh, another one that I like to share with you guys is, you can see all this Japanese writing underneath the winner of the rikishi, the sumo wrestlers. These are the winning moves. Yeah. So, okay. So like you see under, they do not meet in the Kyushu Basho, but they meet in the Hatsu Basho. And Tojino Singh, actually he win by Yorikiri. Okay, so this is the winning moves that he have against the opponent. All right, so you can see actually in a year how many times they meet and what is the winning moves from one sumo wrestlers against the other sumo wrestlers. All right, I will share with you some of the winning moves, some simple ones and some common ones. Okay, so far so good. Okay, now I've been talking a lot about Yokozuna. All right, there again, just like when you are Yokozuna, you are a king, you know, you are top of the whole sumo world, you must have some very good other fighters too. It's like your left hand man and right hand man. All right, and they have that. They are called a Sanyaku. Sanyaku. I'm pointing here, Sanyaku. The Sanyaku are Ozeki, number 1. Okay, is Ozeki. Number 2 is Sekewake. Sekiwake. And then the third one is Komusubi. Komusubi. Okay, so basically there is Yokozuna, there is Ozeki, there is Sekiwake, there is Komusubi, and then the rest are called Maegashira. Maegashira, the Chinese character is written as 前头, the forward head, 前头. And under Maegashira is divided into 12 other categories. So there's Maegashira 1, Maegashira 2, Maegashira 3. So these are the ranking. All right. So after Yokozuna, you always have Ozeki, right? And then you have Sekiwake and Komusubi. So these are the so-called always top matches to look for. You want to watch a match that is between a Yokozuna and Ozeki. Okay, of course, the Yokozuna is always the best. Yeah, or Sekiwake against the Yokozuna, because they have a chance. They are good enough. They may have a chance to defeat a Yokozuna in a particular bout. Right, so they are the top. Okay, in terms of ranking. So here I have a live audience. They're asking about promotion. Yeah, promotion. So if you remember the divisions that I've shared, okay, actually after every tournament, they will look at all your records. And depending on your records, you will move up and down the division. Okay, So ozeki, they have a criteria, all right? Ozeki, they will have a certain criteria. Let's say, for example, if this ozeki has been injured or was not in a tip-top condition, and for 3 tournaments, he has a losing record. Losing record means, oh, talking about losing record, how do you know? Because one tournament lasts from the first Sunday to the third Sunday, which means there is 15 days. It's always a 15-day tournament. All right, so under one tournament, they have to fight 15 times every day. And of course, if you lose more than 8 matches, it's considered a losing record. Yeah, so if ozeki has like 3 consecutive losing record, they will deem that he is not good enough to hold the rank of ozeki, and he may be demoted. And then when he demoted, it's not like, oh, ozeki immediately becomes sekiwake or komusubi. It also depends on his losing record, how bad it is, and which are the opponent that he lost. So if this ozeki has been losing to a lot of the bottom rank sumo, then probably his demotion is deeper. Okay, but of course, if he's an ozeki, he has the potential, and then in the next few tournaments, especially if he win another tournament, then he can jump back up again. Okay, so there's this promotion system, definitely. Okay, the next word I want to share with you guys is called shiomake. Shiomake. All right, shio is salt. Make is throw. And of course, this shiomake again is part of the Shinto ritual. And then we do know, if you go to a Japanese restaurant sometime, you can also see that they put a lot of salt by the side of the entrance. Okay? To the Japanese, actually the salt can ward away evil spirit, bad luck, bad fortune. All right? And then again, this is a Shinto ritual, right? So to start the match, they also want to throw the sword to symbolize what? To symbolize good luck, you know, ward away the evil spirit, etc., etc. And you can see this sumo wrestler here with the golden mawashi, he is Asa Shoryu. He is one of the Yokozuna. All right, and then he makes shio mawashi into an art form. You know, when he throws, he has, you know, his own way of throwing. Okay? Good enough? Interesting? Okay, so come to kimarite, winning moves. Kimarite. Okay? So these are all there are many kimarite in a sumo wrestling bout. Okay? I'm just going to share with you some of the common ones because that's how maybe 80% of them, you know, use this particular move to win the bout. Okay, one of them is the oshidashi. Oshidashi, frontal push-up. Okay, frontal push-up. So you can see from my picture, this is how they push somebody out. So basically, how you win the bout in a sumo is that the first wrestlers to get out from the bout lost, or the first wrestler to touch the ground lost. Okay, that's how they do it. The next one is also very common, is yorikiri. Yorikiri is one of the most common winning moves. All right, yorikiri basically it means you hold the mawashi and then you push the wrestler to the outside of the bout. Okay, yorikiri. Yorikiri. Yeah. Okay, and this is very difficult. Okay, this zuritashi. Zuritashi. Zuritashi usually is meant for the bigger size wrestler so that he can lift. He practically managed to get hold of his mawashi and then he start to lift the wrestler out of the ring. Okay, this is called zuritashi. Zuritashi. This one, when you see this, is very exciting because actually it's almost like an arm twisting. All right, it takes a lot of technique to do this. It's called the uwate nage. Uwate nage. So nage is throw. Okay, so it's basically like a upper hand throw, like you see from the slides that I have for you. Okay, it's the upper hand throw. Okay. This one is very rare. Or not many times in a sumo tournament you get to see the two-handed arm twist down. Okay, in Japanese it's called kaina hineri. Okay, the reason why I show this is because I'm a little vain here, because I like this. I really love this particular move. It's very difficult to execute. Yeah, it's a two-handed arm twist down. Okay, very rare to see this particular move being executed. Yeah. And then there is the scale otoshi, thrust down. Okay, basically, when the wrestler charging towards you, then you manage to take a step back and then you push him down. Okay, I mean, to me, this is one of the a little bit boring lah, because he thrusts towards you and then you take a step back and then you push him down. But it's one of the common winning moves. All right, and you see. Actually, I'm sharing with you the common ones, but you can see my background. Actually, my background are all the different winning moves of sumo. Okay, there are a lot more. I'm just sharing with you some of the common ones. Okay, so they are winning moves, just like football. There's also yellow card and red card, right? So in sumo, there's also some moves that is illegal. Okay. So illegal move is called kinjite. Okay. So there are three major kinjite. That means these are illegal moves. One is that you try to poke the eye. Okay. That is dame. Cannot. Okay. Another one is you like woman fighting lah. You go and drag the hair, and then this is not because they are supposed to be sumo wrestlers. They are supposed to fight fair and square. Yeah, so you cannot poke the eye. You cannot touch. Use the hair and drag. So this is like woman fighting, and of course because they are men, right? Okay, so you also cannot go and squeeze the xiao chichi. Okay, but has it happened before? Yes. Yeah. Sometimes it's not very common, but it did happen before in some of the tournaments. And of course, the sumo wrestler that execute this will lose the bout lah. Okay, or disqualified depending on how serious lah. Especially the kinji, the monkey squeeze is no good Okay, so I hope you guys enjoy, and then because it is still a Japanese lesson per se, I also like to use this chance to share with you guys some of the interesting facts about sumo and also learn some simple dialogue. All right, so this is the first interesting fact. Do you know sumo use 45 kilograms of salt a day? Yeah, so for 15 days, so there's like 500 kilograms of salt. Yeah, for the shiomake. Not the eat, not the makan one. Okay, so to say this in Japanese, sumo wa 1日に45キロの塩を使うことをしていますか? I mean, it's very long. Okay, I apologize. It's my bad. Okay, the first day of the new year, I make it so difficult for you. Okay, so let's break this down. Break this down. You don't have to say in a complete sentence. Okay, so we know what sumo is, but ichinichi is a day. Yeah, ichinichi is a day. Okay. The use of salt. Okay, the use of salt is 塩を使う。 塩を使うね。And then, do you know? Basically, here in this sentence is していますか? していますか? Okay. And then 45 is 45. 45. 45. kg is, is katakana, so it's the same. You say kilo. Kilo. 45 kilo. 45 kilo. Hi. Kilo. Okay, so maybe just like everyone here now, yeah, you say, oh no, I did not know that. So you said it in Japanese is いいえ、知りませんでした。知りませんでした。So when we learn Japanese, most of the time we know this particular word called wakarimasen. Practically everybody use it. So what's the difference between shirimasen and wakarimasen? Okay, shirimasen is do not know. Wakarimasen is do not understand. So the difference is know and understand. Okay, so wakarimashita. Wakarimasu is I understand. Okay, shirimasen is I do not know. So the difference is know and understand. Shirimasen. Wakarimasu. Okay, so this is total, yeah. So my math was pretty bad just now, but this is the answer. There's a total of 677 in 15 days, right? So 15日間で15日間 Okay, it can also be 15日間 Okay, 日間で合計675キロ Yeah, 合計 is total 合計 Yeah? Okay, 15日間 is 15 days, a period of 15 days. And then, of course, here we can practice the number. 665 is 675キロです。75キロです。Okay, good. Okay, then this is an interesting fact about mawashi. Okay, sumo wrestlers never wash the mawashi at all. Never. So if you are a sumo wrestler and you reach the top ranking, right? You have your first mawashi, all right? And then let's say you are able to continue your career for 10 years. For 10 years, you do not wash it. Okay? Okay. Those there, the answer will be later. Okay? All right, so let's learn this a little bit. Rikishi. Okay? Rikishi wa mawashi wo 一切洗いません。力士は回しを一切洗いません。Okay, 一切 here, this is 一切 in kanji means never. 一切 very confirm. Right? 一切 Okay, 洗いません is wash. Never wash, no wash. 洗いません Okay, no wash. But issai is like you emphasize is really definitely never. 绝对 never. Okay, issai. Okay. So the answer is here. It is considered bad luck. So you don't want to wash your mawashi. Because when you have the mawashi, actually it represents you. You remember those names I shared just now with you? Those are, of course, not their real Japanese name. So when you are recruited or you join a sumo bear, the oyakata, remember the oyakata who is the owner, he will give you a name. And of course, the name will have some strong meaning. It can be like you are the dragon prince, for example, or you are like the dragon slayer, something like that. So it's like in entertainment, you have this entertainment artist name, right? So for the sumo wrestlers, they also have their warrior's name or the sumo name. All right. So, and when they reach a certain rank, the mawashi actually represent themselves, right? And therefore, they do not wash the mawashi, right? So, mawashi o arau no wa fuun da to omimasu. Ne? Mawashi o arau no. I mean, I say slowly that mawashi o arau o fuun da to omoimasu. Fuun is unlucky. Okay, and this omoimasu is very common, just like our English language. I think I am a naughty boy today. I think he is right, for example. So in Japan, they also have this word I think, and you always hear it almost always is omoimasu. Omoimasu. Okay, omoimasu is I think. Okay. Okay, so I mean everybody say I cannot believe it, right? So let's say in Japanese is shinjirarenai. Shinjirarenai. 信じられないですね。そうですね。信じられない。Okay? So this is self-explanatory 啦。信じられない。Okay? Okay, and the final day, remember I shared with you just now, every sumo tournament is 15 days. It starts on a Sunday and it ends on the third Sunday. And the third Sunday, the final day, there's a special name to it, label to it. It's called the Senshuraku. Senshuraku. So the final day is called Senshuraku. そして最後の日は千秋楽と言います。ね。そして最後の日は千秋楽と言います。ね。So と言います is call, right? 言います。と言います。Okay? 最後の日 the last day. Okay? そして means end. Okay? 最後の日 is final day, last day. And then, of course, it has a special name label to it for the last day of a sumo tournament. It's called Senshuraku. Okay, so basically, why is it called Senshuraku? Again, bring you back to the idea of the whole sumo wrestling. It is all about the gods, right? It's the way of the god. And then there are many different kinds of gods, right? So this is also like a harvest, the final day of harvest. And of course, when you harvest something, you want to have a good harvest, all right? And then it's going to be a happy harvest. So the final day of a sumo tournament is called Senshuraku. It's like the final day, like you have the good harvest, especially for the champion sumo wrestler for that particular day. Okay? All right. Okay, so this one is easy. Now, I shared with you just now, shirimasen. Now I'm going to put, now I understand, which is ima wakarimasu. わかります。どうもありがとうございました。どうもありがとうございました。Yeah? Okay? 今 is now. Alright? Now. わかります is I understand. And then どうもありがとうございました。We all know that very well is thank you very much. Is thank you very much. Okay? Hi. Okay, so I'm just going to share with you because there's only so many yokozuna in the 300, 400 years of sumo. And these are the recent ones. These are the last 30 years. And what do you think? Do you think these are all Japanese? No. Yeah. Okay, so actually, because sumo, when you reach the highest ranking, you actually get paid also. It's like a salary. So when you are yokozuna, when you're ozeki, you know, they're your salary. But once you reach the highest ranking sumo, the makunouchi, okay, even the, I mentioned that there's Maiga, Shira, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, right? Even the lowest one, the average salary is 8,000 US. Okay, so a yokozuna, without all those bonuses of the bulk, yeah, their average monthly is about 30, 40 US thousand dollars. Okay, so they are also very well liked by most girls. Okay, they want to get married to sumo wrestlers. Okay, so Asa Shoryu is from Mongolia. Okay, the one that I'm pointing now. Okay, Hakho is the current, he is still active. All right, he was Mongolian. 2 years ago, he asked his father for permission to become a Japanese. So his father agreed, and he's now a Japanese citizen because he is very grateful that sumo gave him a new lease of life. And then because he has reached the level of Yokozuna, so he wants to pass this down. All right, pass this down. Okay, and then this is a Japanese, Takanohana, also Yokozuna. What is so special about Takanohana is also because his brother also is a Yokozuna, Wakanohana, the one in the middle here. So these are brothers. Okay, this is the younger brother, and this is the older brother. But in terms of record, in terms of popularity, okay, Takanohana is more popular than the brother Wakanohana. All right, and the two gentlemen or two sumo wrestlers beside Wakanohana is Akebono, okay, and then Musashi Maru. They are both Hawaiians. Yeah, they are both Hawaiian. Okay, you can look. Yeah, they are both Hawaiian. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that sumo is such a lucrative sport. It's a pro sport. Okay, that in the recent years, the last 30 years, there are many foreigners that actually want to make a living or want to be a pro sumo wrestlers. They actually travel all the way to Japan and start from the most bottom. Okay, hopefully they can become a top-ranked wrestlers. So the countries that so far that I know for the years I've been watching sumo is represented by almost everywhere. Okay, I can name a few. There are sumo wrestlers that come from Russia. Of course, there's also Korea. Yeah, Oppa, there's some Korean. Okay, okay, Mongolian and Hawaiian, of course. Yeah, American Samoan, Egyptian. Okay, or even African Egyptian also go. Bulgarian. Okay, Brazil, Georgia, Singapore. Maybe I have to eat more. I will go. Okay, there is Brazilian, there is Georgian, there is Egyptian, Ukraine. Okay, Russian. Okay, so many foreigners are actually going to Japan to hopefully become a top-ranked sumo wrestler. Yeah? Oh no, you cannot bet. It's illegal to bet. You can't bet. You can bet outside. No, okay. I mean, I'm running short of time, but I just try to be quick, yeah. Okay, I just try to be quick. Asa Shoryu is no longer in the sumo arena because he actually broke some rules and regulation. Okay, for any sumo wrestlers to reach the rank of Yokozuna is like God already. Yeah, again, I have to emphasize, almost 300 years of sumo, there's only about 82 Yokozuna. So they need to carry themselves very well. They cannot make mistakes. They are an example to the greater society, to the younger sumo wrestlers, and also to have an ethic code, okay, of sumo wrestlers, okay. But Asa Shoryu actually broke a few rules. He was found. He was in Mongolia going home. He was asked to return to Japan to prepare for a tournament. He refused. He was caught on a video playing football with his Mongolian friends, okay? And then there are also other sumo wrestlers that were being caught gambling. And then, of course, when you have this discipline problem, the Sumo Wrestling Association will have a board meeting, and usually they will penalize and discipline them. And then Asa Shoryu is one of those that has been disciplined, even though he's a Yokozuna. The simple reason is because they gave that he is unworthy of the rank of Yokozuna because of his breaking of the rules. and the vow of being a Yokozuna. Okay? All right, so gambling is not allowed. Okay, so I hope I cannot control here, but there's just one video. I mean, since we talk about it, myself, I do not know you guys have watched before, but just watch one simple video and then we'll call this session an end, all right? So this is one of the bout that I really enjoy, all right? So may I have the video, please? Okay, Hakko, Mongolia. He is very young. Okay, Asha Shoryu, also from Mongolia. Okay, you watch this first. Okay, that is Hakko. That is when he was Maegashira 1. Asashori was Yokozuna. He beat Yokozuna on the final day and he won the champion. And okay, you can stop the video already. You can see people was throwing all the purple cushion, the zabuton, right? So when lower ranked sumo wrestlers beat a Yokozuna, it's an upset. Okay, it's an upset and everybody celebrates because the Yokozuna was beaten. And they throw the zabuton up to celebrate. Yeah, this match I want to show you is because that match is when Hakko is still not a Yokozuna. That is when he debuted when he was only 19 years old. He was Maegashira. He was then fighting against Asa Shoryu, who is already a Yokozuna. Okay, and because of this bout that he won, Asa Shoryu, he is being spotlighted that he has the potential to be Yokozuna, and true enough, he is now one of the most winningest Yokozuna. So this is why I show you this particular video. All right. So I hope you have an enjoyable evening. My time is up, but just in case anybody asks me, what does the sumo wrestlers eat? You have your smartphone with you. Chanko nabe. You can type chanko nabe. Okay, it's not a chuhua, but if you type Google chanko nabe, yeah, you can see that they eat like a hot pot. Okay, I cannot bring you hot pot today. Okay, but here in Oxford, we do have, you can see the surrounding. We're going to celebrate Chinese New Year. All right, we will probably have a session that's going to share with you how do we do a Chinese style chanko nabe, which is our pen chai. Okay, so stay tuned to Oxford 1969. Until then, I see you guys again. I hope you have a good evening. Thank you so much. Arigatou gozaimashita.